In the heart of a bustling city, where people rushed past each other without a second glance, lived a woman named Eleanor Kensington. She was one of the wealthiest women in the country, owner of several businesses, and heiress to an old family fortune. Yet despite her wealth and influence, Eleanor longed for something money could never buy: true love. She had grown tired of suitors who only sought her riches, so she devised a test to find someone who would love her for who she truly was. Disguised in ragged clothing, with dirt smudged on her face and tangled hair, she took to the streets, sitting among the beggars, watching as people ignored her. Day after day, she experienced firsthand the cruelty of a world that judged by appearance alone. People hurried past, some tossing coins without a glance, others sneering in disgust. But no one stopped to truly see her until the day she met him. Nathan Carter was a struggling university student, burdened with unpaid tuition and an uncertain future. He often sat in his tiny rented room, worrying about how he would afford his next meal. But he believed that complaining wouldn't solve his problems. Instead of wallowing in despair, he chose to do what little he could to help others. One evening, while walking home, he noticed a frail woman sitting on the cold pavement. She wore torn clothes and looked tired and hungry. Unlike the many passers-by who ignored her, Nathan stopped and crouched beside her. "Are you hungry, ma'am?" he asked kindly. Eleanor looked up, surprised by his concern. I haven't eaten all day," she whispered. Without hesitation, Nathan reached into his pocket and pulled out the last of his money. It was barely enough to buy himself dinner, but he decided someone else needed it more. He gently helped Eleanor to her feet and led her to a small restaurant nearby. He ordered a modest meal for her, watching with satisfaction as she ate. "You didn't have to do this," she said, studying him. "You seem to have your own struggles." He smiled. "I believe kindness should never depend on what we have, but on who we are." Eleanor was moved by his words. That night, after finishing her meal, she thanked him, and he promised to visit her again. And he did. Every evening after his classes, he would stop by to see her, bringing her something to eat or simply sitting beside her and talking. They became friends, sharing dreams, struggles, and laughter. Nathan never once questioned her worth based on her appearance. He saw her heart, and that was enough. One day, after weeks of friendship, Eleanor decided it was time to reveal the truth. She invited Nathan to a grand estate on the city's outskirts. Confused but trusting her, he followed. When they arrived, he was in shock. The mansion stood tall and magnificent, its gates opening to reveal luxurious gardens and servants awaiting them. Eleanor turned to him and removed the scarf that had covered her face. She no longer looked like the woman he had met on the streets. She stood before him in an elegant gown, her natural beauty shining. "Nathan," she said softly, "I am Eleanor Kensington. I am not poor. I only wanted to find someone who would love me for who I am, not for my wealth. You have shown me kindness without expecting anything in return. You have given me something I've longed for: genuine love." Nathan was speechless. He had cared for her, not knowing she was a wealthy woman. But now, looking at her, he realized nothing had changed. She was still the same Eleanor, the woman he had come to cherish. Tears filled his eyes as he smiled. "I would have helped you 1,000 times over, no matter who you were." Over time, their bond deepened, and love blossomed between them. They married in a beautiful ceremony, surrounded by people who celebrated their love story, one built not on wealth, but on true kindness and sincerity. Nathan no longer had to worry about his school fees, but more importantly, he had found a love that was real. And Eleanor, once desperate for a love that was true, had finally found it in the most unexpected way. Together, they lived happily ever after, proving that love, in its purest form, sees beyond riches and appearances.